Hi, Steve Von Brand here for the Bass College. We just got back from the Potomac River Bassmaster Tournament, and I'm trying to organize some of the tackle that we took with us. After a tournament, sometimes it gets a little disorganized, and of course, we make up a specific box for each lake or river that we're fishing. In other words, I have a Potomac box, I have an Upper Bay box, I have a Red Mill box, I have different lakes and rivers boxes. That way you don't have to carry all your tackle with you, especially for you co-anglers. You don't have to carry um, 15 or 20 different boxes with you to try to get it into the guy's boat. Really helps organizing your tackle to different lakes. You have specific boxes for different lakes, but thought I'd show you some of the boxes that we're going through. Here's the swim bait box, that I took with me to Red Mill the other day. Certain swim baits in it, True Tungsten and Huddlestons, different sizes, and Black Dog shell crackers, and Rago baits, and Yum Money minnows, and rope easy shads, all kinds of different things in there as far as swim baits. And there's your poppers up in here, different poppers and Ricos, and up in here you've got your different jerk baits and things like that, and suspending rogues and jackals and soft jerk baits in the end that are really working well. I just put a few in there, Yum Money minnows. And over here's the way I organize the jigs. These are all dirty jigs. One side I have just flipping jigs and pitching jigs, and then on the other side I have all swim jigs and no jack punching jigs. These are different types of punch skirts, different size weights. You need different punch skirts to punch through mats. There's a 3/4 ounce weight with the skirt on it. You put a punch hook on the back of that holds the bait in place. That's a special hook that you use just for punching. See how that's a little barb on it, and you use that with that punch weight or a punch skirt and a plastic. Here's some of the other punch skirts that we have, but the weight comes already attached to these like that. So you use different sizes. We use some big no dirty. These are dirty jigs. These are called a no jack punching jig. This is what you use to just punch with. See how big that is? That's an ounce. So, but even an ounce wasn't enough at the Potomac. You need 2 ounce weights, an ounce and a half, 2 ounce weights. These are some custom painted baits, some Lucky Craft, some rattle traps, different things, custom painted baits by Piz. Um, we've got all your plastics here, your rage tail frogs and lake fork tackle, different frogs and shads and soft plastics. All your Grandy bass baits and your Zoom speed crawls and the net bait Paca crawls, which I really like for a trailer on the back. I like the Grandy bass mega claws in different ones. There's a Grandy bass mega claw there. I like these and the Okeechobee crawls when I'm flipping, but I also like the net bait Paca crawls in different colors like this, and the Zoom speed crawls when I'm swimming a jig. These are really, really nice here, these full-size net bait Paca crawls, and even just the baby Paca crawls for swimming a jig. Here's your big worms, standard worms, big curly tails, 8-inch, mega tail rattlesnakes right here, and trophy hunter in a couple different colors. I really like those, and the bite's pretty active. For bigger fish, I'm using 10 and 12-inch worms, big Yamamoto cut tail worms like that in 10 and 10 and a half, 12 inches. And then, of course, of all different trailers and things like that, and your crankbaits and your small and medium crankbaits in one box, and then your bigger crankbaits are underneath these jigs, punching jigs and stuff here in the other box, and mid minuses and great big crankbaits, but shallow square bills. And you got all your rattle traps here, and then your different tube baits and thin worms, thin Senkos and tubes. Tubes are an important arsenal for you. All your different buzz baits are organized like that, and then chatter baits on the other side. These are all Z-Man chatter baits of different types, and then of course I have some Charlie's bugs too that are chatter baits by the same people that make the jigs that we showed you, the Bang It jigs. And then here's your terminal tackle. You need all different types of terminal tackle, your rattles, rattle bands, different size weights, punch skirts, super glue, Carolina rigs, different sized hooks, super line hooks. And then your spinner baits are all organized. I have, one side of the spinnerbait box is all just Colorado and Oklahoma, and then one side is all Willow and Colorado. So, I organize them like that. And then all your frogs, your KVD frogs, your Spro frogs, the Reaction Innovation swamp donkeys, and then your Spro popping frogs, Boriski frogs, then all your snag proof frogs like that. The world's best bass frog in the middle there, Ken Cook's frog. All your Senkos, and make sure you have some culling tags, co-anglers, that's important. You need at least 3 of them in most events, 5 for the BFL, FLW, things like that. So we're trying to get all this tackle back together here now and organize that. Still got to get all the rods back together here that we took with us. I have rods that are just specifically for cranking. This is the Shimano Corrado, the 5.1-to-1, which I use to crank with on a cranking stick or a St. Croix cranking stick, or I still even have some Bass Pro Shops cranking sticks. I've got my Shimano Calcutta on this crucial rod here right there. Mojo bass rod I like to crank with. I'm cranking an RC 1.5 that's been custom painted by Piz there with my other round reel. I like the round reels, or the Corrado there. I like 4.7 to 5 speed gear ratios for cranking. Deep cranking, go down to my 3.8 to 1 Shimano for deep cranking on big crankbaits. Some of your different reels, I like to use Shimano spinning reels, but these were given to me when I was sponsored by Akuma, this one here, so I still have some of these around. This is a G Loomis GL2, all 6'6" or 7. I have a Temple Fort Outfitters G Loomis rod, that's what this one's on right here. And then, your Chronarchs, there's an old Chronarch there. I'm flipping with that on the St. Croix. There's the new Corrados right there that are on sale for $139 at Tackle Warehouse. It's a fantastic deal. You need to pick them up. There's another new Corrado there with the Spro popping frog, some other old Shimanos. I use a 7-foot cranking stick to throw buzz baits with, and then there's another true cranking stick and cranking rod there, another Corrado. Throwing a frog there on my big round Abu Garcia. It's one of the few Abu Garcias I like still. I keep that because I do throw a frog with that on 65-pound test braid. I like that Sunline FX2, and I use Power Pro when they're topwater lures. There's the new Chronarch right there. That's the brand new Shimano Chronarchs. They have those on sale for $199. That's a fantastic upgrade to the Corrado. So some different reels, different rods, and some of the baits that I have here stored. So I'm getting them all ready to go out again. Next time you see me, I'll be doing a swim bait video. So I'll see you down on probably one of the bigger lakes, maybe Red Mill or Silver Lake in Dover, Millsboro, something like that. And I'll be with my pro staff, Ryan Corsiato, and we're going to be throwing some big swim baits the whole day and see what happens with that. So until the next time, Steve Von Brand here for the Bass College, and I'll see you guys down in the water.
Brother, it's a long road from Amistad to Toho. Doesn't matter which way you go, the miles are